I'll admit that bringing Meghan into the family was a mistake. The reported $50 million tied to the separation is concerning, and Harry has come back clearly worn down. I've got some explosive revelations about the British royal family that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Imagine a king burdened by decades of duty, finally breaking his silence in a way that shatters the carefully curated image of unity. What if I told you that King Charles, the man who has navigated scandals and losses with stoic resolve, has launched a legal assault against his own daughter-in-law? Not just any claim, but accusations of blackmail that could unravel the monarchy's fragile peace. This isn't idle gossip from tabloid whispers. It's a courtroom drama unfolding in real time, rooted in financial intrigue, emotional wreckage, and a family's deepest fractures. Sources close to the palace reveal that tensions have been simmering for years, ever since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped back from royal duties in 2020. But now it's erupted into something unprecedented. King Charles, in a video statement released through official channels, dropped a truth bomb that has the nation reeling. A dimly lit room in Windsor Castle. Advisors huddled in tense discussion, and the king himself, looking more weary than regal, facing the camera. His words cut through the air like a blade. He admitted to a monumental mistake in welcoming Meghan into the fold, cited outrageous financial demands tied to a potential separation, described Harry's return as a man broken and exhausted, and both the public and vow to pace at the INSIDERS SIAS decide. Life this wasn't Kaya. A during the press 15 min at VIGILHELD release. It was a declaration of war hidden in plain sight. Why now? What pushed a monarch known for his measured approach to such a public reckoning? Insiders say it all traces back to private negotiations gone sour, where demands escalated into what the palace perceives as extortion. We're talking millions, security arrangements, and titles on the line. The royal PR machine is in overdrive trying to spin this as a necessary step for stability, but the public isn't buying it easily. Social media is ablaze with hashtags trending worldwide. Before we dive into the gritty details, the leaked correspondences, the emotional toll on Harry, and the legal maneuvers that could change everything, you need to brace yourself. This story isn't just about one family. It's about power, betrayal, and the cost of freedom. Hit subscribe if you want to stay ahead of the curve, because the palace walls are cracking, and more secrets are bound to spill. The video itself was brief but brutal. Released on the royal family's official website amid swirling rumors of Harry's solo trips back to the UK, it caught everyone off guard. Analysts point to recent events, Harry's appearances at charity events looking gaunt, reports of strained transatlantic calls, and whispers of divorce filings. But Charles's words elevated it all to a national crisis. He spoke of grave errors, troubling demands, and exhaustion that hints at deeper wounds. This is no ordinary family spat. It's a throne under siege. As the dust settles from this initial shock, questions multiply. How did a fairy tale romance devolve into courtroom battles? What exactly are these financial demands, and why $50 million? The answers lie in the shadows of Monteto and the halls of Buckingham Palace, where alliances are shifting and loyalties are tested. Buckle up, this is just the beginning. Now, let's zero in on that video statement, the spark that ignited this royal inferno. It dropped like a grenade in the early hours, timed perfectly to dominate morning headlines. King Charles looked directly into the lens. His voice, usually calm and authoritative, carried a tremor of regret. I must concede that welcoming Meghan into our family was a grave error of judgment. He said, pausing as if the words pained him, "Let that sink in." A king admitting fault on camera, unheard of in modern times. He didn't stop there. He delved into the financial quagmire, mentioning demands surrounding her separation from Harry that totaled a staggering $50 million. Sources familiar with the matter explain this isn't just alimony. It's a package including property settlements, ongoing security costs, and compensation for lost opportunities within the royal sphere. Palace insiders claim these figures were floated in private letters, escalating from initial requests for support to what they now label as coercive tactics. Harry's condition was the emotional gut punch. Harry has returned emotionally exhausted, Charles revealed, painting a picture of a son drained by years of conflict. Reports from those close to the Duke describe him arriving in the UK unannounced, seeking solace in familiar places like Frogmore Cottage, remnants, or quiet meetings with old friends. He's been spotted at Invictus Games preparations, but his demeanor speaks volumes. Hollow eyes, forced smiles, a man carrying the weight of divided loyalties. Why go public? Experts suggest it was a preemptive strike. With rumors of divorce swirling since early 2025 and Harry's increasing UK visits fueling speculation, Charles aimed to control the narrative. Legal advisors reportedly urged transparency to bolster the lawsuit's credibility. The suit filed in London's High Court accuses Meghan of blackmail through implied threats of further revelations if demands aren't met. Documents cite emails and calls where financial security was tied to silence on family matters. This confession wasn't scripted lightly. Behind the scenes, Charles consulted with Queen Camilla, Prince William, and a cadre of lawyers. They debated for weeks, weighing the risk of alienating Harry further against the need to protect the institution. One advisor anonymously shared, "It felt like lancing a boil, painful but necessary." The video's release coincided with Harry's latest trip, amplifying its impact. Public reaction was swift and divided. Supporters of the Sussexes cried foul, calling it character assassination. Royal traditionalists hailed it as long overdue accountability. Media outlets dissected every word, linking it past grievances like the Oprah interview and Spar's revelations. But beneath the noise, a deeper story emerges. A father torn between love for his son and duty to the crown. As we peel back more layers, consider the buildup. Years of strained relations from Mexit to Archewell's financial woes set the stage. Netflix deals faltered, book sales plateaued, and reports of separate lives in California added fuel. Harry's exhaustion isn't just personal, it's the toll of bridging two worlds. The king's words have opened floodgates, and what pours out next could redefine the monarchy. To understand this lawsuit's genesis, we must rewind to the cracks that formed long before the video. It all started with promise, Harry's whirlwind romance with Meghan. Their 2018 wedding watched by millions, a symbol of modern royalty, but beneath the glamour, tensions brewed. Palace sources trace the discord to differing visions of royal life. Meghan, an independent actress, chafed at protocols. Harry, protective, amplified her frustrations. By 2020, Mexit exploded. They cited media intrusion and lack of support, but insiders reveal financial undercurrents. The couple sought independence, yet expected ongoing funding for security and lifestyles. Charles, then Prince, covered initial costs, but strings attached bred resentment. Reports from that era detail heated discussions over Frogmore renovations funded by taxpayers, then repaid amid backlash. Fast forward to 2025, divorce rumors intensified. Harry's solo UK trips, including Wellchild Awards and family memorials, hinted at homesickness. Meghan stayed in California, focusing on ventures like her Netflix cooking show and American Riviera orchard. Sources say finances strained their marriage. Archewell's donations dipped and high-profile deals like Spotify ended acrimoniously. Enter the blackmail allegations. Court filings claim Meghan's team demanded $50 million in a separation package, linking it to withholding damaging information. This includes unpublished details from Harry's memoir drafts and private family correspondences. Palace lawyers argue this constitutes extortion, especially given prior leaks in interviews and books. Harry's emotional state ties into this. Friends describe him as burnt out from constant battles. His UK returns, often under the radar, involve therapy sessions and reconnecting with cousins. One confidant shared, he's torn, loyal to Meghan, but missing his roots. Charles's statement underscores this, positioning the king as a concerned father rather than aggressor. Broader context, the monarchy faces scrutiny. Charles's health scares, William's duties, and public approval dips amid economic woes. Suing Meghan risks alienating younger demographics, but aides see it as defending the institution. Legal experts note parallels to past royal suits like Charles's own against newspapers. This rift isn't isolated. It echoes historical family feuds from Edward via abdication to Diana's Panorama interview, but here, money and media amplify it. As demands escalated, negotiations broke down. Emails reportedly show Meghan's side pushing for settlement, covering child security and brand rights, phrased in ways the palace deems threatening. The king's grave error admission reflects hindsight. Early support for the couple, including titles and patronages, backfired amid controversies. Now with Harry back and exhausted, Charles acts to reclaim narrative control. But at what cost? The lawsuit could expose more skeletons, turning a family matter into a global spectacle. Diving deeper into the legal quagmire, the lawsuit filed by King Charles against Meghan is a masterclass in royal strategy. Lodged in the High Court under privacy and extortion laws, it seeks injunctions against further disclosures and damages for emotional distress. Key evidence: a series of communications from 2024-2025 where separation terms were negotiated. The 50 million figure isn't arbitrary. Breakdowns from filings include 20 million for property divisions, 15 for child-related costs, and 15 for reputational compensation. Palace sources claim these were tied to non-disclosure agreements with veiled threats of media bombshells if unmet. One email excerpt reads, "Resolution ensures mutual silence, otherwise truths emerge." Meghan's defense: her team counters its standard negotiation in high net worth divorces, not blackmail. They point to royal precedents like Diana's settlement and argue the suit is retaliation for past criticisms. Legal analysts predict a drawn-out battle with discovery phases revealing sensitive documents. Harry's role is pivotal yet ambiguous. As a potential witness, his exhaustion complicates matters. Reports describe him shuttling between coasts, attending court prep sessions in London while managing co-parenting. Friends say he's pleading for mediation, but Charles's resolve hardens, supporting claims, witnesses from palace staff and advisors ready to testify on coercive patterns. One anonymous source recalls a tense Zoom call where demands escalated. Cross-Atlantic jurisdiction adds complexity. California laws favor privacy, but UK courts hold sway over royal matters. Broader implications: if successful, it sets precedents for celebrity royals. Failure could embolden more exposes. Financial audits of Archewell showing deficits bolster the palace's narrative of desperation driving demands. As proceedings loom, security becomes flashpoint. Meghan's insistence on UK protection for visits ties into demands, echoing Harry's lost lawsuits. Charles's suit frames this as leverage, not necessity. This labyrinth isn't just legal, it's psychological. Charles, advised by top barristers, aims to protect legacy. Meghan, with Hollywood lawyers, fights for autonomy. Caught in between, Harry's exhaustion symbolizes the human cost. The courtroom will decide. But the verdict may reshape royal dynamics forever. Focus now on Prince Harry, the tragic figure at this saga's heart. His returns to the UK have been shrouded in secrecy, but leaks paint a portrait of a man unraveling, emotionally exhausted, as Charles described. Harry arrived last month looking shadows of his former self. Sources say jet lag compounded deeper fatigue from marital strife and public scrutiny. Why return now? Ostensibly for legal consultations and family ties, but insiders reveal pleas for reconciliation. Meetings with Charles were brief, tense, no warm embraces, just guarded discussions. Harry reportedly confided in William, seeking brotherly advice, but old wounds resurfaced. He's drained from playing peacemaker, one friend noted. Meghan's absence amplifies isolation. While she handles California affairs, Harry's solo status fuels divorce talk. Reports of separate residences, him in a UK safe house, her in Montego, add credence. His exhaustion manifests physically: weight loss, insomnia, reliance on wellness retreats. Palace narratives position Harry as a victim, manipulated into demands, but supporters argue it's the family's cold shoulder that's breaking him. Therapy sessions, a staple since Diana's death, intensify. Books like Spare hinted at this vulnerability. Now it's raw. Public sightings, a low-key pub visit with mates. Charity work with Centerville, yet eyes betrayed turmoil. Charles's video naming his state was a double-edged sword, empathetic yet exposing. Financially, Harry's court. Inheritance from the Queen's mother provides buffer, but joint ventures with Meghan complicate splits. Demands pursuit include his share, tying him to the blackmail claims. As he navigates this, alliances form. Cousins like Beatrice offers support away from spotlight, but pressure mounts, testify or mediate. His exhaustion could sway outcomes, humanizing the Duke in court. This chapter underscores the personal toll. Harry's journey from rebel prince to weary wanderer highlights monarchy's rigid demands. Will he find peace or deepen the divide? Shifting to Meghan's camp, the response has been fierce, calculated, and unyielding in the face of mounting pressure. Portrayed as the villain through relentless palace leaks and tabloid smears, she fights back with a barrage of public statements, strategic alliances, and a narrative that flips the script on her accusers. Her team swiftly dismisses the blackmail allegations as utterly baseless, framing the lawsuit not just as a personal attack, but as a glaring example of patriarchal bullying designed to silence a woman who dares to speak her truth. This is about control, not justice. One spokesperson declared emphatically, echoing sentiments that resonate across social media and beyond. Behind the scenes, Meghan mobilizes with precision, drawing on her experience in high-stakes environments. High-powered lawyers erst in celebrity defamation and privacy cases are preparing robust defenses that challenge every aspect of the royal claims. They cite fundamental free speech rights under both UK and US laws, arguing that so-called demands were nothing more than standard negotiations in a complex separation scenario, not veiled threats. Evidence being compiled includes Harry's own supportive texts and emails, which demonstrate mutual agreement on terms during earlier discussions, painting a picture of collaborative efforts derailed by external interference. Financial scrutiny intensifies, but Meghan's side acknowledges Archewell's recent challenges while highlighting strategic pivots to new ventures that are buoying confidence and stability. Initiatives like her lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, and upcoming Netflix projects are positioned as forward-thinking moves that underscore her independence. The $50 million figure, it's contextualized as entirely fair, drawing parallels to historical royal exits and settlements such as those involving Princess Diana or even Sarah Ferguson. Insiders emphasize that it's less about greed and more about ensuring long-term security for Archie and Light amid ongoing threats, including cybersecurity risks and paparazzi intrusions that have plagued the family since Brexit. Allies rally with fervor. Hollywood heavyweights like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry amplify her narrative through high-profile podcasts, op-eds in outlets like Harper's Bazaar, and exclusive interviews where she discusses strengthening personal boundaries amid royal scrutiny. Social media campaigns fueled by supporters and influencers highlight the persistent racial undertones in the attacks, linking them directly to past mistreatment during her time in the UK, and calling out the double standards in how the palace handles controversies. Retaliation risks hover like storm clouds, whispers of a potential tell-all sequel to Spare or a hard-hitting documentary series loom large, but caution prevails to avoid escalating the conflict further. Instead, Meghan's focus remains laser-sharp on co-parenting with Harry, advancing her career in philanthropy and media, and nurturing her family's well-being in California. Recent public appearances, from charity galas to casual outings, showcase her poise and vitality, directly countering the palace's claims of exhaustion and discord. Palace countermeasures ramp up with PR machines pushing the narrative of Harry's victimhood to garner sympathy. But Meghan's resilience shines through turning each salvo into an opportunity to highlight her strength. This offensive isn't merely legal, it's deeply reputational, aimed at reclaiming her agency in a story long dominated by others. As the battles intensify, her multifaceted strategy, blending legal firepower with public empathy, could force out-of-court settlements or expose deep-seated hypocrisies within the monarchy. The Queen Consort's influence, according to multiple sources, appears to be driving much of the aggression, injecting layers of gender dynamics and family rivalries into the fray. Ultimately, Meghan's fight symbolizes broader societal shifts from the suffocating constraints of royal tradition to the empowering realm of independent power and self-determination. Win or lose in the courtroom, she continues to reshape the narrative, proving that one voice can challenge an institution centuries old. Deep within the palace's shadowed corridors, factions are solidifying like battle lines drawn in ancient feuds. The inner circle, a tight-knit group led by Prince William, Queen Camilla, and a cadre of trusted advisors, including seasoned courtiers and legal eagles, staunchly supports King Charles. They see the lawsuit not merely as a legal maneuver, but as an essential bulwark to safeguard the monarchy's integrity against what they perceive as relentless external threats, orchestrating carefully timed leaks. Sympathetic media outlets, they paint Meghan as an opportunistic figure driven by ambition and willing to exploit family vulnerabilities for personal gain. This narrative has been bolstered by whispers of her alleged demands, framing them as calculated moves that echo historical royal betrayals, much like those that plagued earlier generations. On the opposing side, a loose coalition of Sussex sympathizers has emerged, comprising distant royals, former staff members with lingering loyalties, and even some Hollywood allies who have publicly voiced support. Figures like certain cousins and ex-ads leak counter-narratives through discreet channels, emphasizing Harry's visible emotional exhaustion as evidence of the palace's unyielding pressure. They argue passionately for family reconciliation over protracted litigation, pointing to the human cost of this divide. Drawing from recent revelations, they highlight instances where Harry has expressed fears of plots against him from within the firm, suggesting a paranoia fueled by years of perceived slights and media manipulations. Betrayals are piling up like storm clouds, thickening the atmosphere of distrust. Allegations of wiretaps on private conversations and hacked emails have surfaced in preliminary court filings, escalating paranoia on both sides to feverish levels. One particularly explosive revelation involves a so-called sunset clause buried in prenuptial agreements designed to limit post-separation claims and now fiercely contested as a tool of control. Insiders whisper of even darker turns, such as claims that Meghan's actions mirror a final betrayal, akin to those that dismayed Queen Elizabeth in her twilight years, with leaked diary entries hinting at profound royal disappointment. The public media war rages unchecked, with British tabloids aligning firmly with the palace, churning out headlines that amplify the narrative of Sussex disloyalty. Yet global outlets, from American networks to international blogs, strive for balance, often featuring voices that decry the suitor's patriarchal overreach. Viral moments intensify the drama, like Harry's cryptic interview snippets where he hints at deep regrets and feelings of betrayal over the royal family's interactions with figures like Trump, adding layers of political intrigue. International angles complicate the chessboard further, with potential interventions from U.S. courts over jurisdictional disputes threatening to drag the case across the Atlantic. Financial probes into offshore trusts and joint ventures have unearthed hidden assets, intensifying the stakes and raising questions about transparency in royal dealings. Echoes of these alliances reverberate through history, reminiscent of past intrigues like Edward Roman VII's abdication crisis, but amplified by today's relentless social media scrutiny that accelerates fallout at breakneck speed. Ultimately, these betrayals could fracture the family irreparably, or in a twist of fate, forge uneasy trusses born from sheer exhaustion. As dust settles, implications loom large. A palace victory could silence critics but alienate globally. Defeat risks more exposies eroding trust. Harry's path recovery from exhaustion, perhaps UK base for kids, Meghan's future, thriving independently or reconciliation. Public sentiment shifts. Polls show divided opinions, with youth favoring Sussexes. Monarchy adapts or faces irrelevance. Charles's legacy. This suit defines his reign. Decisive or divisive? Questions linger. Was it protection or vendetta? What do you think? Could this heal or destroy? Share below. Subscribe for updates. The royal saga continues with more twists ahead.